Thank you so much. I'm going to turn my PC on. And I would hope that a moderator is in the house and can speak to everybody. I've got just a few minutes before 7. Like 3 minutes. And I'm turning on YouTube. Let's go to my videos. And I'm almost done. And would you please let me know if you guys can hear me well? Put yes in the chat if everything's okay. Hi, Brenda Allen. Hi, Miss Kia Parks. Hi, SB Foster. Mike Kromowski is in the house. Presbyterian Gardner is here. Bougie Pepper. Lorraine T. Alsnet Homesteader. And Mike says he can hear me, and Bougie. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, looks like I don't have a moderator in here yet. Okay. Tonight I'm drinking no sugar, no artificial sweetener, no sodium. This is AHA. It's a sparkling water, and the essence in here is blueberry and pomegranate, or pomegranate. It's a lot of words I don't pronounce correctly. But I didn't know I wasn't pronouncing them correctly until I was grown. Good and grown with a family and 3 kids. I used to say paprika, because that's the way my mother pronounced it, but it's paprika. And it's not pomegranate, it is pomegranate. Anyway, you know, we learn stuff from our parents and who we're around. They influence us and our environment. And my mother and father were very intelligent people, and they taught me a lot. So a few words that they mispronounce or she mispronounced, it's no big thing. Okay, we're right at 7 o'clock. So that means I'll be right back. I'm going to turn my air down a little bit more. When I saw the forecast Saturday, actually Friday afternoon, I believe it was, I was so excited because it had been so hot here in North Texas and no rain. So rain was predicted in the forecast for Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and now again Monday, Tuesday, I think Wednesday. And I haven't received one drop. So expression that I've learned from old folks. I've been using that expression a lot lately, especially when it comes to my fruit trees. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. I mean, I was so excited about the possibility of having a lot of rain because it's really dry in my food forest. And yeah, no rain. So I'm praying that we get some rain tonight. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is put my Cash App and my email address in the chat, and I'll pin it. If you would like to donate to this channel to help me do all of the things that I'm doing, you can send me a Cash App. I would certainly appreciate it. And I have that there. And I'm publishing it. And now I'm going to pin it so it will be at the top. Hey, Growing with Hudson. We got a moderator in. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Broke Farmer. Hi, Renaissance Grandmom. And Amani Anita Newsom, thank you for being here. And Yankee Sister Homestead, thank you so much. And let me see if I can pin this again, because I don't think it went to the top. Yeah, it did. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the schedule. This Sunday at 12 noon, we will be having our pressure canning class. And let's see how many people so far. Yeah, we got a nice amount of people. One lady emailed me when I was outside working for some information. I won't call your name out, but you know who you are. I'll send you that information when I get off the live tonight. I promise. All orders from last week went out for Cheryl's products. Your seeds went out. There was only one thing I held, because I was hoping I could get some fresh rainwater on it, because it has a lot of nitrogen and it just makes everything grow better. It's no excuse. I just wanted it to be a real good tree sapling, and that is to... they have a homestead. I believe it's Odom. If it doesn't rain tonight, I'm sending it out. And at the end of tonight, if you've been here for the whole live, I'm going to give away an elderberry sapling. I had saved 2 for myself, and I'm currently rooting 2. But this is a real strong one that I'm going to give away tonight. It may be small in size, but it has a very good rigorous root system, because I was rooting it for myself. I think I started rooting it in January or maybe December. And I've got some shoots that came up on their own, so I don't really need it. So I'm going to give one of those away tonight. Some lucky winner will win. Okay. I think that's all I have. The classes are via Zoom. You know who you are. They always start at 12 o'clock noon. I emailed explicit directions. Your jars must have the product in it. Please don't put the lid or the lid or the ring. Going blank. The lid, just wait till you get to be 67. You all see what it's like. When you in the middle of a video and you can't remember the name of the tree. Or you're talking on a live and you can't remember the object. So have everything ready, but don't put the lid on or the ring. And we will start promptly at 12. Please don't be late, because we need all the time. We're going to need all the 2 hours. I tell you guys ahead of time if a class is not going to be 2 hours. So get that. And then next week, I will announce the next Make Your Own Product Club Zoom class, as well as a food preservation class. And remember, I'm committed to doing all of these classes until the end of this year. So make sure that you attend all of the classes that you want. If you would like to join the perk clubs, and by the way, excuse me, guys, the only the only seeds that I give away are heirloom seeds that I have been growing in my food forest. I don't buy seeds and give them to you. I give you what I collect, because I always tell you that saving seeds is like printing your own money. And I have been very blessed and very fortunate to have people to have sent me seeds, and everything in my food forest this year was grown by seeds. I didn't buy not one plant, which freed up a lot of money, saved me some money to do some other things that I'm going to be sharing with you in the season. Other gardening equipment, that type of thing, as opposed to having to buy seeds to grow my groceries. Okay? And I'm telling you, I am harvesting. I'm ahead of a lot of you all that are in zone 7 on down because of my warmer climate. And pretty soon it's going to get so warm here that a lot of things won't grow. So now I'm in the process of growing what I like as well as what I need. I don't need a lot of tomatoes because I still have tomatoes in the jar that I pressure canned into tomato sauce, pasta sauce, with and without meat, tomato paste. I think that's it. Stewed tomatoes and tomato juice. So I have a lot, so I didn't grow a lot of tomatoes. I'm downsizing. You guys know that because my fruit trees, the Lord is blessing me. They are really kicking in. And with the heavy pruning that my son did on them, just made them even fuller. I am so thankful. No, I don't have the maximum amount of fruit that it can hold on all the trees because we have high winds and the trees are young. Most of them are less than 6 years old. So, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying we have real high wind gusts and it drops a lot of fruit. I talked about that in my last video. I used to get upset. I used to get up every morning and walk my food forest and get mad about the amount of food that was on the ground. But I don't do that anymore because it doesn't make any sense. I can't control the weather. I can't control what happens. Some people had their homes demolished by tornadoes and hurricanes. So I'm blessed that that didn't occur. So who am I to question the weather and the effects that it has on my garden? So I choose to look at it this way. It's still some fruit hanging on instead of not having any at all. Okay? So you guys know who you are. Make sure you're on time for the pressure canning class. You will get your email of the link. And I notice when I go, sometimes I go back and I look at my videos, I keep saying the code, the code. There is no code. There is a link that I send. And you just click on it, and it does better to me on your cell phone, Zoom does, as opposed to a tablet or a PC. It's just my experience of people who have problems. It's usually on the PC or a tablet. Cell phone people don't have a problem. And then when I send you that link, those of you that are attending the class, I need you to let me know if you have a gas stove or a cooktop, electric cooktop. Okay? Okay, so I think that's all I want to announce tonight. Remember, get your classes in because they're going to stop the last week in December. It'll probably be like the third week in December because Christmas is coming and, you know, so that will happen. Okay, now I'm going to go back and look at the chat and see what's happening. I see people speaking to Susie Polidor. Veggie Farm Garden is here. Thank you so much. If I repeated your name, charge it to my head and not my heart. Grandmama Groves is here. Speaking to everyone. Diversity Love, we appreciate you being here, growing with us, and I think I said that. Okay. My Granny's Garden is here. Backyard Farming with Ashley. This kiss goes out to everybody. I think I repeated a couple of names. Okay. If you're new to my channel and you're here and you can't type in anything in the comments, that means that you are not a subscriber. And I have my settings set for people that are subscribers are the only ones can make a comment. That keeps trolls out. Also, if you do have a question or something or a comment, you can put it in the comment section when the video ends. Okay? And I got a couple of emails I'm going to address today. One person wanted the roselle seeds. She probably saw my video. I don't give you guys the opportunity to tell me what seeds you want. I choose a seed of the month. And if you like it, then you tell me, you just email me, I want some seeds. And if I don't hear from you, then that means you don't need them. And I appreciate the people that don't ask for them if they already have what they know I'm giving away. And I try my best to give you something that's not common, like the red Texas Star Hibiscus, the white Texas Star Hibiscus, the datura, the bush type of moonflower. I'm going to give out in the month of June, morning glories, not the bag of seeds of morning glories that you get in the store. Like I said earlier, morning glories that I have collected the seeds. I know what they will do. And if you're in a zone 8 and above, you're not going to have any problems putting them out as long as the weather is above 32 degrees. You see, the longer you grow something in your backyard or your community garden plots or a family member, the more you grow it and you allow it to go to seed, it has adapted to the weather conditions. And it's a stronger seed because you don't know where the seeds are coming from when you get them. Now, there are reputable companies like Baker Creek, Botanical Interest, Johnny's Seeds, some of our people in our community that sell seeds. We know that they're pretty reliable, but a lot of them we don't. So you know when you're getting that seed of the month from me, it is something that I have grown that didn't cause me any issues, or I would not pass the seed on to you. Okay? All right. So it's going to be morning glories next month, because I've been showing you how the plant is going to seed and have a lot of little pods dripping on stems. So I'm going to be collecting them. And one thing about the morning glory, if you get a seed from me in June and it's not real hard or callous like, you think the seed should be aged, morning glories do not require that they be dried out. That's why a lot of people consider them invasive, because when they drop or the birds drop them, they'll come up anywhere in wood chips. So I'm going to be sending these to you fresh off the vine, because in my video, probably around January, February, Brian and Bria and I took seeds right off of the plants that I winterized in the greenhouse, sprinkled them, and they came up a few days later, because you all know that I heat the greenhouse. Okay? So the seed of the month would be morning glories next month, and you all will be getting the heirloom zinnias. I put a post up today. See, I think I did those Friday. I think I'm going to take them to the post office until Saturday, and they probably pick them up Saturday or Sunday. Okay. All right. Hold your questions, guys, until we ask you for them. And thank you. Gorilla Hudson said it's 48 people in here, only 29 thumbs up. We do know that we have some people in the bleachers and the balcony. We appreciate it if you would come give us a thumbs up too. Because, you know, it's the right thing to do. Okay, so classes. I got everything down. Wednesday, you'll get your link to get in the class. Everybody except one person knows everything that they're supposed to be doing. All orders went out. Okay, good. Only 2 things I got to do tomorrow, and that's the prize for the day and the Odom Farm. Mimosa tree. In the video that I'll drop tomorrow, I'll show you closer up a look at the mimosa tree. It's not a video on the mimosas. I've talked about the mimosas for years because I've been growing the seeds for years. So I'm not going to be giving a lot of beneficial things about the mimosa tree in that little flash clip that I did. You know, some people don't know that I have changed over to the vlog style format with my videos. So I put a little this and a little that in there too. So it's not all going to be pertaining to the topic. Okay, Yankee Sister is in the house, and she has been a member of the Grow Your Own Club for 9 months. She said she enjoys being a part of the Lady Cheryl's group, and I appreciate you too. Now, these groups won't change. The Grow Your Own, the only ones that's going to change will be Eat Your Own and Make Your Own products. They are going to expire in December. The Grow Your Own Club will still be here. It'll just be that I promised my family that I'll spend time with them on Sunday, so I won't be doing those classes after the end of the year. Okay? So you guys know, I don't care if you took a class from me last year or the year before. If you have a question, you know that I'm going to answer it through email. Anybody in my Perks Club, I'm going to answer your question to the best of my ability as soon as I have time to do it. I think I mentioned this to you all before. I still have contact with my cosmetology students that I help get licensed. I go to lunch with them before COVID, help them design their salon, or if they ask me about information about furniture or what companies to use. I am a person that loves to serve and to help. So I'm not cutting you all off. I will always be there for you. Hey, Chime Mouse family. And I'm not sure if I spoke to Andale or not. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, it is good. I need to spend time with my family. Okay, I got to tell you all something real funny. I thought it was funny. Bria was acting like she was afraid of a wasp or a bee, and you all know that I retired when my daughter had Bria, so I kept Bria since she was a child. She's still a child. Infant. I was with her when she talked. I potty trained her. I took her to pre-daycare and sat there so she could be with kids her age. I had Bria up until she went to pre-K and then kindergarten. And I see something green. Hey, Black Soul Homestead, thank you. We appreciate you joining. Let's give her a hand, everybody. And so she has been in the garden all her life. And I call her my garden girl or my strawberry girl. She knows she can pick up a slug. She knows that's a bad worm. She could pick up a grub that would turn into a June beetle. and step on it, she can pick up an earthworm and say, "This was good, Big Mama. I'm gonna put this in the garden bed." She knows they will poop and give out worm castings and will fertilize and our soil. But she came over here because she hadn't been over here in 3 weeks. And she was acting like she was squeamish and everything was bothering her. And Brian, he pretended he had a stomach ache because he wanted to stay at home and play with his electronics, his Xbox. But I knew that he was faking because I could tell. Because I was doing Miss Beverly's hair. Y'all know Miss Beverly's my client / senior citizen friend that I get anything in my garden to. I do her hair every Saturday morning. And she's a retired school teacher. And she knows children too. So I told Bria, show Miss Beverly her new move, her flip that she learned in gymnastics. She goes to gymnastics every Friday, right? So she was showing her. Then all of a sudden, Brian got up because he wasn't feeling good, remember? Stomach hurt. Then he wanted to show Miss Beverly how he got his 3rd karate belt and how he broke the board with his foot. And Miss Beverly and I looked at each other and we knew he was faking. So I told him, "No, you sit down. You don't feel well." So I'm gonna end this story real quick. I'm gonna get on to garden. But I'm gonna share something. You all know my COO, my oldest son. I had a conversation with him yesterday, and he said, I was telling him about the kids pretending that they was Bria squeamish and Brian had a tummy ache, but he wanted to do a karate chop. And he said, "Well, Mama, if you make them work every time they come over, then your grandkids are not going to want to come over." I said, "Oh, really? You know, I do pay them, right? I put money into their dad's account and he gives them the money. And then I take them and buy them a treat, whether it is Dairy Queen or a chicken sandwich at Wendy's or whatever." And I said, "And you work for my mother," which was his Big Mama, for free. So he said, "Well, I just think they're going to resent it and they're not going to want to come over." And I said, "Well, let's ask Lisa, what does she think?" And he said, "Oh, yeah, click her in." So I clicked in my daughter, which is Brian and Bria's mom. And I said, "Hey, I got Trey on the phone, and he's saying that your kids and my grandkids are becoming resentful or will be resentful if they have to work when they come to my house." She said, "They'll get over it because I'm printing out something right now to give Brian more chores because all he wants to do is lay down when he gets home from school or karate or whatever he's doing and play his video game." And so I was so happy that she backed me up on that. Because we have to keep our young people's minds engaged with, because this is the formative years, and they learn and remember and retain so much. So I knew Bria was faking about the insects, and I knew Brian was faking about his tummy ache. He just wanted to be home on the games. So guys, teach your grandchildren. Teach your children, nieces and nephews. If you don't have any children, mentor some young people at your church or in your neighborhood. Because this gardening thing, it took the pandemic for a lot of people to get on board and start growing their groceries. We've been doing it for a long time, and there's some new people in here that just started, and I applaud you. But we are not panicking. We're not panicking about shelves not being full to capacity, or manufacturers or even grocery store chains taking advantage of vulnerable people, because we growing our groceries and we are preserving our groceries. And so we don't have that fear, that panic that some people have, that anxiety, because we're staying calm, because this is a lifestyle for us. This is nothing new for me. I've been canning and preserving food for a very long time. So I don't freak out. As long as I have my medicines and I got something to drink and eat, I'm all right. Okay? My daughter keeps her children busy with dance and gymnastics. That's the way to go, Yankee sister. Let me see if anybody, that's why they would grow up and amount to something. Ain't that the true Presbyterian gardener? Because a lot of these people don't They don't even know where food come from. They don't even know that, you can grow your own food. And if they're not taught, it's not their fault. It's the parents. And Angela said, yes, I do the same with Ava and Andre. Yes, especially little Ava. Because I've been knowing you a long time, Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead. That little Ava is growing up. They grow up right before our eyes. And it's a wonderful feeling to have followed you as long as I have and to see her growing up. She will never, ever forget you. You and I are going to be gone from this earth one day, and we'll be in paradise smiling down and looking at them, because I believe in the afterlife. And I believe that they will remember us because I remember helping my grandmother. I remember helping my grandmother before there was permanent press, polyester in the sheets. It was the kind of sheets that once it got a rip in it, it just kept on ripping. Polyester sheets have a certain way they're bound or woven together, and you can nip it off and it'll be a hole in the sheet. Okay? But I remember those ones that were ripped like this. And my grandmother had the basket made out of, y'all know what baskets are made out of, a heavy straw or whatever it is. And she would pay me $5 a basket. And she would take starch and spray it and ball the shirts up and put them in a ball and ball and ball and ball. It'd be like 20 shirts in that basket. And you got $5 a basket. And I paid Brian and Bria $3 an hour. So they're getting paid pretty good, in my opinion. And they are happy. They never complain. It was my trade. My COO was saying the kids are going to resent me. Those kids love their grandmother. And let me tell you something. High 2 abundant acres and sifting some soil 55. Even if kids get mad at you temporary, they'll get over it. And they will always remember who instilled morals and values, and this will come from the parents, but it's going to come from the example as grandparents as we set for them. And they're always going to remember all of the things that you taught them. Because I learned about collard greens going to seed when I was about Bria's age, picking collards for my grandmother and grandfather. Okay? So Ava is going to remember everything that she is learning from Angela. My children are learning from me. My daughter's husband, when they became engaged, he asked me, did I know where he can rent a gardener's uniform? We were hanging up Christmas tree lights out front. I'll never forget it. And they had just got engaged. And I said, why do you want to know that? I said, because my future wife and I were discussing we're going to have a flower garden, and she says she doesn't like to grow plants and things because you all forced her to do it when she was a child, and she asked him, was he going to be able to afford a gardener? That girl called me the other day. She ain't no girl, that's Brian and Bria's. She's in her early 40s. She called me and told me that the neighbors had to slow down and look at her yard because it's laid out with her flowers and her pots and her bicycle with the basket and the plants in it. And this is the same girl that told her future husband that she wasn't going to be doing any gardening work. So don't even worry about what they say as a child, and sometimes don't even worry about what they say as an adult because they will change. Okay? That's why they would grow up and amount to something. Presbyterian gardeners say that, but it won't. Let me see. Somebody said something. Hi, Rhonda. Good to see you. My hair sister. Hey, James Franklin. My grandmother taught me that I still remember and pass it on. It is a blessing to be able to pass it on. I remember harvesting beans last year. And I told my grandkids, there was about 4 of them over here that day. And I said, hey, y'all want to mess around with Snapchat? They said, yeah. You know, they thought they was getting ready to get a break and I was going to put I went and got some beans. I gave every one of them a little bowl and gave them some beans. I said, this is the Snapchat I used to do with my grandmother. You snap the beans and we had a chat. And they would teach us something. Boy, those kids cracked up. They really, really thought that I was going to be sharing something with them. We just talk about life. Thank you for the rose, my favorite flower, Franklin. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. And best yet, thank you. She's welcoming everybody in here. I'm not going to be here long tonight. I'm going to talk very briefly about the topic that I chose. Let me open it up. And then I'll let you all ask me questions. Okay, somehow I got out of my chat. Somehow, okay, I'm back. Oh, the special of the month will change on June the 1st. Actually, I'll probably just change it next Monday on the 30th. So the hand lotion is still on sale if somebody want to order that for Father's Day. It'll be a great gift to give to your father or your husband, the father of your children. Okay, let's talk about seed saving. Please hold your questions. Okay, great. Now, let's talk about non-GMO seeds. A lot of people will put that on a package of a seed as a marketing tool. But let me tell you, if you don't know, you cannot buy genetically modified seeds. Only farmers can buy those in very, very large quantities. You can't even go to your local co-ops or seed stores or anything. Let me see what people are saying in the chat, because I see it moving. Help my grandmother snap peas. My first garden injury was a finger cut from a corn husk at the age of 5. I used to run from her chickens, though. Thanks for sharing that, Amani. Yeah, so you cannot get genetically modified seeds, and I get emails on that every now and then. Don't even worry about that. That's just a marketing strategy or tool. You cannot buy genetically modified seeds. Now, you can buy hybrids. So I'm not going to go into what's genetically modified, okay, because we can't get that. Let's talk about hybrids and heirloom seeds. Those are the two that I want to talk about today. I'll go into more depth at another time. The reason why I like to buy hybrids every now and again is because they are made or designed for certain specific reason. So there's 2 that I will purchase the seeds, and these are hybrids, Celebrity and Early Girl tomatoes, because they are disease resistant, drought tolerant, and known to thrive better than some tomatoes in real hot temperatures. I'm not saying they'll still bloom, okay? When you all know that your tomatoes have to bloom, and then that bloom is the beginning of the tomato, and that tomato bloom has to be pollinated. But it doesn't have to be pollinated by a bird or a bee, like a hummingbird or a bee or a wasp or a butterfly, it it can be pollinated through the wind. Okay? So if you see you got a lot of tomatoes and you live in an area not like where I live, you can just go out there and gently shake your tomatoes, okay, your branches. Now, because we have high winds in North Dallas, I never have an issue with tomatoes pollinating, okay? The problem that I would get is that the wind will blow the blooms off, or it'll get too hot and they'll dry up. Callie Homesteading, thank you for being here. And hi, KM. Okay. Thank you, moderators, for welcoming everybody in. That's right, James Franklin is co-signing what I said. He said he tell people, you try to tell them they cannot buy genetically modified seeds, but they don't believe it. And they'll call you and ask you questions, you know. I was at Callaway's nursery, and somebody was answering the phone and asking a question about genetically modified seeds. And the lady was saying that she doesn't sell them. And I said, well, whoever's training you all, they need to let you all know that you all don't carry them. Because their main supplier of seeds is Botanical Interest. And they don't have genetically modified. I don't have to get into that. You got to buy them in for very large quantities. So now, thank you, KM, said he absorbing the information like a sponge. Now, so let's talk about the hybrids. Well, let me get back to the heirlooms. When you save the heirloom seeds, they're going to be true to the fruit or vegetable that you obtained them from. The size may vary, the color may be a little bit off, but basically, if you take seeds from the mushroom basket tomatoes that I've been liking a lot this past year in the greenhouse and this past spring, that mushroom basket, depending on the weather conditions, how it's watered, how much sun it gets, how much wind it gets, that basket mushroom tomato could be small or it could be huge. But it's all going to look the same, kind of scalloped. Okay? It's a real pretty tomato. And it's a meaty tomato, and it is a sweet tasting tomato. Okay? So, somebody's asking a question. You might be new in here, Lisa's Journey. Please hold your questions until the end of the topic, and then we'll answer your questions. Thank you, Grandmama Groves. She's telling her. She probably doesn't know. And somebody speaking at home with Cherie. Thank you for being here. And I don't know if Regina Tyson, if I spoke to you either. So, yeah. So the weather conditions, soil, temperature, all of that. That mushroom basket, I've had some little ones, some medium-sized ones, and some huge ones. Okay? But they all from that same DNA, I guess that's how you could say it, from that tomato. Now, let's talk about the celebrity and the early girl, and there are a lot of others, but those are the ones that they sell in my area that work well in this area. You can't save those seeds. Well, physically, you can save anything you want, but you never know what you're going to get. It's like Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And that's the deal with the hybrid seeds. You have to start them from a grower of it, okay? You cannot just grow it and just save some seed. You can do it, but you don't know what it's going to be like. So I never save hybrid seeds. Everybody got that? Everybody got that? Okay, great. Now let's talk about germination and soaking seeds and stratifying seeds. Let's start with stratification. Stratification just simply means that the seed has to go through the normal process of the seasons changing. For example, it can get like 108, 109 here, right? And then we learned in 2020 that it could get all the way down to 3 degrees here with a power outage because we had that polar vortex freeze. Okay? So Stratification typically means that it goes from one temperature and it gradually goes down to at least a 32-degree Fahrenheit. It needs that in order to stratify, in order for it to germinate. You cannot take, for example, you cannot take the Texas red star hibiscus off of the pod in September and then expect it to germinate. It will not. It has to go through that process. That's why I shared with you when I was planting in that red Texas star hibiscus bed, I showed you all the little seedlings that escaped from the seed pods and how they came up, because they went through the stratification process. So I waited until we had a couple of days at 32 degrees or below, and then I collected the seeds and sent them to you. And this year, because I think I left them on the vine much longer than I did the previous year, we've had better results of them germinating. Make sense? We didn't have a lot of people emailing me and telling me they wouldn't germinate. Now, it took a long time for some people's seeds to germinate. And that's because everybody keeps the temperature in the house different. Everybody's growing medium is different. Some of us use heating mats to facilitate keeping the soil at a steady temperature around 70, 75 degrees. So it just depends. But everybody had good germination rate in those red Texas star hibiscus and even the white Texas star hibiscus. Okay? And then another thing I've learned, the longer you've had a plant and that plant goes to seed year after year after year, the germination rate, just from my experience, I'm not a scientist, I've noticed that the germination rate is higher each year that perennial plant produces a seed pod. Okay? All right. Are there any questions over what I've gone over already? Doing better with Mariah. I love your name. Thank you for being here. Any questions over what I just went over? Okay, so don't waste your time saving hybrid seeds, because you never know what you're going to get. And also know that your best bet is to buy an heirloom seed, and know that only the seeds that I send to you all are seeds that I have collected for a couple of years before I send them to you. But I don't send you the old seeds. I send you seeds of this year or the previous year. Like the seeds for the zinnias that I sent, those are the ones that I collected in 2021. Okay? All right. Yeah, your sister said she didn't do that well with Texas Star Hibiscus, but a lot of people did. I think I'm not sure if I saw Myra McCain. I thought I saw her. She sent me an email, I think it was Myra, where it came up much later. She thought, and it was in with something else. I know Angela, Busy Bee's Garden, have a lot of them to come up. But just don't give up. Never plant all of your seeds at one time. Plant them at intervals so that you will know that you have more to check out again later. I don't know if you all know this, but I'm intentionally doing this. I'm creating a network of subscribers who have like-minded ideas like me. They're going to grow the moonflower. They're going to grow the zinnia, because the zinnia, let me point this out to you. Zinnia, heirloom zinnias, heirloom marigolds, and heirloom morning glories are 3 seeds you don't have to dry. So, if your Zinnias go through the process because they've been growing for me since January, right? Because I started them in the house. And then they die off. You can just take that little bulb and just shake it, that little flower, and just sprinkle it. You don't have to wait till it dry. It could be raining for a whole week. They'll pop up. Remember, write this down if you take in notes. Lavender Velux, all hers came up. Great, thanks for letting me know. And KM said that moonflower is just breathtaking. Yes, I love it. And so your marigolds, your moonflowers, and your zinnias, you can get 2 seasons out of them. I do every year because we don't get a 32 degree until much later than some of you guys. I have a longer growing season. That's why I grow all year round. So I'm not telling you what I read in a book. I'm telling you what I know. I'm going to have a second or third set of zinnias before the freeze comes. But once that temperature gets 32 degrees, you can forget it. You can pull them up. And Bria knows that. When Brian first got his phone, Bria used to call me every day. And she'd go into her dad's office and pull up the weather on the computer. And she'd try to act like a weather girl. And she says, Big Mama, if the low temperature is going to be 31, that's going to be good for the seeds, right? The ones that have to get cold outside. She can't say stratify. I can't either. Sometimes I get tongue-tied. But she knows the theory or the science behind it. Don't count these young people out. But now Bria is used to the cell phone. She's calling her friends and she doesn't call me anymore. But I used to go, yeah, Bria, thank you. And I'd look at the temperature every day, all day long. Because I was told I was in Brooks Farmers Chat, and I was telling them that we hadn't got a drop of rain. And I call him Professor Q, but it's Lion Crest. He was saying, it's coming tonight, Lady Cheryl, it's coming tonight. I'm counting on it. So my moonflowers are great. I can't wait until they bloom. And each year, Yankee sister, the moonflowers are going to get bigger and bigger until they reach their full potential. Mine look like angel trumpets now. And they're not iridescent, but they glow in the dark. And they're heat tolerant. I have never watered them. What does that tell you? That they have a long taproot. They can go down and find moisture. I have never watered my moonflowers. Wait a minute. Let me take that back. I have never watered them for the last couple of years. When the plants are small and they're producing small flowers, I would go out there and put some water. But I haven't given any water this year or last year. So when it does finally kick in and the rain comes, it's going to absorb enough water in that garden bed to sustain them for the rest of the growing season because they are drought tolerant. And when it's pitch black, which is never pitch black because, we have street lights, but if I was to open up the door or the window and look out, I just see those flowers. They are so beautiful. And they will attract the hummingbird moth. And the pictures that I put on YouTube today, it was a bee in the center getting the pollen off of that. But they don't need to be pollinated in order for them to grow. Just wait till they bloom. It's such a carefree flower. Yeah, you don't have to water it. You don't have to give any fertilizer. Once it's established about 3 years old, you don't have to do anything. Okay. Bobby Wilson said, I thought the Texas Star Hibiscus wasn't going to germinate, so I started more. Now I have 3 growing. It took over a month. Don't give up on it. It's slow to germinate. And you can Google it, and it'll tell you. It can take 3 months. It can take 4 months. It just depends, okay? But they are absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Cherie. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to garden for Mom. Lady Cheryl, I grew the tour for many years, and they would spread everywhere in the garden. The beautiful flower. And that's the moonflower, guys. The tour is the technical name for it. I just call them bush moonflowers because most people don't know of that by that name. And let me just take a minute and talk a little bit about the mimosa. I'm not going to go into the health benefits because I'm going to do that in another video. But I've done it a lot of times before. But you can make tea out of it. You can eat all parts of the flower. It's going to make like a seed pod out of beans. Like, I don't think they are edible, and I don't plan really to eat any of it. I just want it because it's pretty. And it's a glorious feeling knowing that I did that with the help of God. I took those 2 seeds and I made that, and those trees are 25 feet tall now. And it's so pretty. And I've seen butterflies all around it today. And so I just want to say that it can be invasive. And I put it on a Facebook group, two pictures on 2 Facebook group. And somebody said something like they hate them, they're allergic to the flowers. Everybody's not going to like everything. You're going to have a lot of work cleaning it up. Well, I don't shy away from hard work. In this video I'll drop tomorrow, I'm out of breath, but I keep on moving. Take a rest, drink some tea, come back out there and get the job done. When I bend over, I get out of breath. So I'm not afraid of hard work. But instead of saying, "Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's a beautiful flower. Wow. How did you learn about the plant?" I went on vacation, I saw it, took a picture, went in the app, found out what it was, and researched it and found it. Found the seeds on eBay. Instead of saying something nice, it's always something bad. And I've told you all this several times. I talked about it in the live. They can be invasive. Don't plant it like any other tree close to your foundation, close to a tool shed, close to your patio. And that's why I planted mine way at the back of the food forest. So I don't care if it gets invasive. You know why? Because it's planted right next to something else that can get invasive, and that's the comfrey. So that leads me back to what I was saying, that I am weaving a web of subscribers that are like-minded, and we're all growing some similar things. We're growing the moonflower. We're growing the Texas star hibiscus, the red one. A few people got the white seeds. I will have more seeds of the white ones because I grew some more white ones. We're going to have the moonflower, the comfrey. Y'all see what I'm doing? Y'all going to remember me in 20 years that I'm gone. Y'all going to remember me. Because you all are going to be doing what I'm doing. You're going to spread the love. Presbyterian Gardener don't know it yet, but she's going to start doing live chats. I give her about another year. She's going to start doing live chats. And then she's going to be giving away that beautiful fig tree she bought the other day. She said it was an investment. It is. Because I sent out over 100 cuttings of my brown turkey fig tree. I've sent out over 100 cuttings. I'm not bragging. I'm saying this proudly to encourage and motivate you. I sent 100 elderberry cuttings out. You all see what I'm saying? I know I sent out over 100 comfrey cuttings. All of you will have the potential to do the same things. This is why I'm teaching classes on how to make your lotion, how to make your honey, how to make your hair milk, or whatever you want to learn how to do. Any knowledge that I have, I'm passing it on to you because I can't take it with me. And my customers are my customers, and your customers are yours. So I don't have to compete with anybody. I don't have to hold anything back out of the recipe. I tell you exactly how I make my candles. The only thing I don't do is give you my scents and my exact formula. I would be an idiot about to do that. But I give you the basics. And then I even volunteer if you want to send me just a smidgen of a sample of something and for me to use it and give you my opinion of what you should add, or if it's too greasy, or if it's whatever. I'm still willing to do that. It's because it's just in my DNA. This is how I roll. This is how my mother was. Okay? And a lot of you are going to be doing the same thing. Mark my word. I'm going to be on the little cane walking around. I don't plan on leaving unless God take me out. And I'm going to be hearing about your success. I know without a shadow of a doubt that Miss Kia Parks is going to be doing it. How do you know? You a prophet? No, I'm not a prophet. But I see potential. And let me tell you guys, don't let anybody make you dull your shine and change how you are to fit in and get along with. Because we walk to a different beat. I know I'm a little weird at times. I know it. My son would say a little weird. But you have to be. You have to be borderline a little crazy to do what we do. Running out there in the greenhouse, putting extra plastic in there, buying a kerosene heater in case it get a polar freeze again, lighting candles. You all understand what I'm saying? Some of my family thought I was nuts. But now my sister is coming, her best friend, and my cousin, and they're going to tour my food forest in October. She told me today they got the plane tickets. Because I'm not crazy now. You understand? Because they see the pictures. And guess what? My sister is doing the 5-gallon bucket challenge. She told me she got cauliflower, she's got broccoli, she's got collard greens, 2 types of tomatoes, 2 types of peppers, and mint. Do you hear me? And she's having a new garden shed built on her property so that she can roll her lawnmower in and I'll put all her garden supplies in. I said, girl, you know you bad. I'm going to have to come up there and tour your stuff when I go home to Indiana. So don't try to change. Don't let people make you think that you're crazy and that you're spending too much money on this and that, and you talk a whole lot about plants and other people don't want to be around you. That's why we come in here. And not just this channel. It's a lot of great content creators. A lot of you are in the chat right now that do wonderful lives. Okay? We have to stay with our family. This is a tight-knit community because we don't sound crazy to each other. We just sound crazy to some people until they get it. And why you so calm? You're not worried about food. We're not worried about prices. Let me read some of these comments. Hi, Lynn Simmons. Thank you for being here. Crazy just saved her family. Okay, Lavender for Luck. Amen. I moved here 3 years ago from Pennsylvania. This is KM. Totally different ball game gardening in Pennsylvania compared with the zone in 8B Great Land, Texas. I'm going to be attached to you at the hip, and I will accept that challenge. When I move, you move, just like that. I'm addicted to growing. People get tired of me talking about growing. Let them get tired. Let them get tired. I don't care. I don't care. Sometimes when we have like a wedding or a funeral, I seem like my children be looking at me because people were talking to me and I pull out my phone and I start showing them stuff. It just happened. It just happened Mother's Day. Because the COO, Trey's mother, Barbara, beautiful lady, went to the brunch with us. And she asked me about my garden. And when I took out my phone and I started showing it to her, she said, oh my goodness, you really have expanded since the last time, I talked to her about gardening. They say when I'm in the garden, I am in la la land. Yes, I get lost of track of time, Angela. I be out of breath. But now, wait till y'all see that video. I can hardly talk. And I said, okay, I'm getting ready to go take a break. And I told you I got all kind of chairs all around the food forest. But some stuff you just got to get on your knees and do. And especially with a lower bed. But I was really winded. I took a breath, came in, had me some peach tea, calmed me down. 15 minutes later, I was right back out there. All you have to do is pace yourself and you'll do it. But I get lost out there. I know what Angela's talking about, La La Land, because I get lost. I just get captivated about God letting me do this. And I had a dream. I dreamt my food forest. And they thought I was crazy cutting trees down and shade trees and sun deck. I don't want to talk about it too much because I already told you all that story. They thought I was nuts. But they don't anymore. Okay? Because I'm not worried about groceries. I get up and I say, oh, what am I have? Oh, let me go out there and get some of the mulberries. Let me see if any strawberries. And I could be watering or whatever, and I just dip them down in there and just pop them in my mouth. And sometimes I don't even wash them off because I don't use any chemicals. And if bird droppings or something fell on it, you can see that. That's obvious. I sat out there and ate peas. I can eat raw okra. I don't have any okra on the vine yet, little bitty ones. But I'm just telling you, I love it. We show pictures of our gardens like people. Yes, honey. Honey, honey, hush. My mother used to say that. Honey, honey, hush. That's it, Cassandra. I'll be dropping them pictures like they are my grandkids or my babies. Gail Hooper said, I dreamt about my garden last night too. Yeah, I got a dream about it. I get carried away in the garden. Yes. Rhonda Martha calls it dirt therapy. I love you on Instagram and how you be saying, we gonna eat. We got groceries. And that reminds me, I need everybody that is in one of the perk groups or moderator, please put your channels in now. I almost forgot. Put your channels in now. If you have a YouTube channel, if you got a wrench by your name or an emoji by your name, that means you're in one of the groups or you are a perk club member. Put your YouTube channel up with a link. Hudson, right before I went on, I got an email from Auntie Ellen. Can you put hers in, Growing with Hudson? She's still on vacation, last day of her vacation. She always let me know when she's not going to be there. And we all get gardening spirit here. We can talk about gardening till the cows come home. I know it. And Growing Hudson said, and wait until that rain hit it. That's right. That's what I'm waiting on. Because boy, I have to be walking like this from tree branches and doing all like this. Somebody put up the comment and told me to put one of those chains on my glasses. And I have them. Y'all see me with them. No, I'm nearsighted. So things don't get blurry until it's far off, about 10 or 15 feet. I had that little chain on me and it got snagged in a tree and tore up. So I just don't wear my glasses when I'm out there. Because I have two pair of, one big pair of black glasses like the one I had on in the leopard print. They're usually right here, but they're in my bedroom. And a black and white polka dot cat eyes lost in them wood chips out there somewhere. Hey, Chime Moss, thank you for being here. Thank you, Andale, put up Ellen's. And look, Odom's Homestead, look for a tracking email from me tomorrow. Because your tree looked real good and it's safe now to ship it. I just wanted to get a little rainwater on it. Oh, Grandmama Grows telling you to check out her walking onions on her Instagram. She just has a beautiful... Hey, Siobhan Jones. Good to see you. I love what you put on Instagram. So, if you have... I bet Bria will find them the next time she visits. She has eagle eyes. Man, I hope so, Cherie. She's been looking for them. I think they got covered up when I had Chip drop some chips. I think I dropped them that day and they loaded it up on it. My daughter says we speak garden nerd talk. Oh, no, Susie. I'll lift you up in prayer, Susie. She recently broke her hip. I am so sorry. Bless your heart. I have been missing you. I didn't think about getting chains, getting caught in the forest. Yeah, they got caught in the branches. That might have been you, Mike, that sent me that comment. Yeah, they got caught. And you know me, I was just doing like this, and then the thing was all broke. Okay, all y'all lucky. I won't get rain until June, and it's been cold the last 3 days and counting, but I have faith. It's going to be okay. If you need anybody to mentor you or to give you some inspiration, check out At Home with Cheryl. She only has 4 months to grow. That's a challenge, and she grows all year round. So it can be done. Yes, everybody is wishing Susie a speedy recovery. And Miss Kia Parks has been here for 9 months. Zach's Garden on IG. You still should have a link. Let me write that down so I can check you out. I'm on Instagram, but I don't post a lot on Instagram. ZAK Gardens. Okay, I'll check you out and try to find you. Okay, so I think that's everybody. I'm going to let you talk amongst yourselves, and I'm going to go get the prize that I'm giving away today, and I want the Odoms to see their baby sapling. I have to go outside and get it. Okay, I can't show you the Odoms sapling because I forgot. It's real cloudy out there, like it is getting ready to rain. And what the mimosa tree does is very tropical looking, and has these little like like a palm tree, and they close up at night. And so they're closed up so it doesn't look the way you think. Now I want you all to check out this root system. This is the tree that I'm giving away tonight. I just dug around it, and I'm going to wrap it in saran wrap it somewhere, and everybody will have an opportunity to win this tree. It's a baby tree. They call them saplings. And this tree will produce you some fruit in 2 years, because it came from a tree that was a little bit taller than this, and I got fruit the second year going into the third. Now, if you want to play this game, and this is not meant to offend anybody, and then you want me to give the prize to someone else, please don't play the game. Because I had a lot of people email me when I did a lot of drawings. I remember when I made 10,000 subscribers, and it was so confusing. And when you're busy like me, I just can't do it. So don't play if you don't want it. Or you can tell me to send it to who I want to send it to. But don't win and then send me an email, send this to so-and-so and this to so-and-so. Okay? Because it just caused me a lot of problems. Because I'm not that. My mind ain't that sharp. Okay, so I'm going to pick a number. And I'm going to tear this page out right here. And I'm going to write the number. And you can't see because of my PC. And the number is between 1 and 50. Don't put anything in it yet. Mike. I think so. You can Google real quick. What gardening zones do elderberries grow in? Mine went down to 3-degree temperature, and it produced fruit the next year, so the next spring. So I'm not really sure. I'm so sorry. I only remember what's in my growing zone. So I'm picking a number from 1 to 200. Oh, it's going to be backwards, but you can see what it is. And I want, hey, Brenda, I don't know if I spoke to you. I love elderberry syrup and juice. And I made it with bourbon and vodka. I'm not a bourbon and vodka drinker, but I'm just saying I love it with, kind of burn when it went down. And you don't have to pressure can it. Actually, water bath can it. But the ones that I made with sugar for my grandchildren, I water bath can, and I made mine without sugar, but I did it with bourbon and vodka. Hi, Love Grown Green Garden. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, now I need a moderator to put the start and stop signs. And please, nobody jump the gun. It's so healthy. Look at it, guys. Look at those roots. It's so healthy. And it's already fully acclimated outside. So it's going to grow and take off really well for somebody. And I'm going to ship it to you real nice. In a nice box. And that's what I do with my cash apps. Okay. Wait a minute. I didn't even tell y'all to start, and you all just started anyway. Oh, my God. But they put the signs up, so let's go. Okay. I'll let you know if anybody got it. You cannot enter but one time. Now, it was from, James, it was from 1 to 200. Why did you go 250? Okay, let's go ahead on and stop. Memorial Weekend is a 3-day gardening weekend. Somebody put the stop signs. Okay, because I want to be fair. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it to the person who got the closest to it. Whether it's a little bit over or a little bit under. Okay, I got stopped. Somebody's still putting stuff in. No, Andale, I'm taking with Growing with Hudson stop. She already put it in there. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what the number is, and I want my moderators to tell me, and I think I already seen who got it. I think I saw who got it. Ooh, some of you were very close. Hi, Black Soil Urban Homestead. Thank you for being here. I don't know if I spoke to you before. Some of you all were really close. Some of you all are so lucky. I'm just going real slow to make sure I don't make a mistake. Yes, the number is backwards. It's 50. 50. No one got it. But Barb Brownlee came the closest with 51. So I'll take it over or under, whoever gets the closest. So nobody said 49, did they? Let's go back and see. And if we have anybody that said 49, we'll do a runoff. 46, 45, 46, 46. Okay, that's it. I checked it 2 times. I declare Barb Brownlee the winner. Let's give her a hand. Just email me an address, ma'am. No post office box for plants. And I will ship that up really nice for you tomorrow morning. Okay. Guard, moderators, any discrepancies? Andre said, I didn't play. That was the number I was thinking. You should have played, girl. Everybody is congratulating everybody. I'm going to put this back outside and let it get some rainwater tonight. Because it's just something about that nitrogen in that rainwater. Everybody is really congratulating you. You're welcome, Barb Brownlee. And look at the top, and you know my email address, and you can just send it to me, and I'll make the shipping package thing tonight, probably. Okay? Because I'm not ashamed to tell you all, I take a nap now. The Bible speaks of it, once a man, twice a child. I take a nap every day that I can, between 11:15 till about 12 o'clock. Then I get up and make my lunch. Gail Hooper said, I'm too old. I played my age. Oh, bless your heart. And sifting some soil. She was real close with, that's her name, 55. Hey, Shawana. I think I spoke to you, but I'm not sure. But anyway, yes, I started taking a nap. I'm taking a nap. Grandmama Girl said she's taking a nap too. I started taking a nap. My oldest son is the one who told me, said, Mama, you just running yourself in the ground. It is what it is. Okay, guys. Now, I'm ready to answer any questions that you may have to the best of my ability. Oh, Amani say nap ruse. For sure. I'm telling you, I feel better. I don't feel all the time. Mike said his age would have still been over. Well, you know mine would have been over. I had my brother going. His birthday is May 22nd. That was Sunday. And he's almost like 2 years older than me. And he told me he was 70. I said, no, you're 71. I'm 68. He said, no, you are not 68. You're 67. I said, Rachel, I know I'm 68. I had him going for a minute. He said, really? Wait a minute. Lane? He's calling his wife. Y'all got to know him. I tell everybody he had brain surgery. But no, he's not mental or anything. But I had him going for a second. Because this is what I do. When January comes, and I'm waiting for people to put the questions in. When January comes, I start saying that I'm the age that I'm going to be when my birthday comes. That way, I never feel a year older. I already make myself a year older. And Andell says she takes a nap whenever she can. And I set an alarm. And my youngest told me, don't set an alarm unless you have to be somewhere specifically. Like I got to get to that post office before 5 o'clock. He said, I see a question about onions, I'm going to answer it. He said, don't set an alarm, Mom. Get the amount of rest your body needs unless you specifically have to be somewhere. Okay. Next time sifting some soil, put your questions in all caps. Is it too late to drop onion seeds in zone 9? I would think so. I don't know about zone 9. Anybody in here in zone 9, help her out. I would think it's too late to grow onions by seed in zone 9 because I wouldn't grow them by seeds in zone 8. 50 is safe at night for peppers. 40 is safe at night for peppers. New plants, yes. You're fine. And somebody help the young lady with the onion seed question in 9A. Who's in zone 9? Because yes, all San Home said yes, it's too late. And Regina Tyson coming in there with a 190. You must be behind in the chat. You have to go out and come back in, Regina. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing. I think it's funny that you're still playing the game. Oh yeah, yeah. I put my peppers and my tomato plants out before it got 40 degrees. I told you guys I walked to a different drummer because I knew I could cover mine up. Mike, that's all you have to do. They have little domes. I got some right outside the door for $1 at the Dollar Tree. Oh, it's $1.25 now. $1.25 tree. And then I have burlap and sheets and frost cloths. I put mine out earlier. So if it's been 40 degrees, you're good to go. Okay, eat is good. Always, all caps. I just harvested garlic. How long should I let it cure? DeSoto, Texas. Oh, you can let it cure for a couple of weeks. You want to put it into something like a crate or something that have holes in it. Okay? Or you can braid it and hang it up in your kitchen, in the garage, but you don't want to be anywhere where it's getting ready to rain. And you just in DeSoto, you're not that far from me. You don't want it to get wet. And don't wipe the dirt off and don't wash the dirt off of it. Okay? That's good. And Bobby Wilson said it's too late for those onion seeds in zone 9. Okay, are seeds from groceries hybrids? That's just the thing. They can be. You don't know. You know that they're mass produced. So the possibility of them being hybrids is very high. The probability is very high. However, you can still do it. You can still get some seeds out of a pepper or tomato and just see what happens. It's free. Cucumbers, you never know. They probably are hybrids. When I was younger and I was experimenting all the time, I did, but I don't do it now with stuff I know I gotta have a lot of. I still do experiments, but not on that scale. So you can try, Amani. It's up to you. I know for a fact there are some YouTubers who have cross-pollinated and created their own peppers. I know for a fact one really popular YouTuber cross-pollinated an apple from a store-bought apple. It may be 4 or 5 years, and then he's naming the apple after himself. Okay? So, I'm looking at something that's a review. Who's asking to plant garlic? Yes, I would think it'll be too late to plant garlic anywhere. Now, if you're going to plant it and leave it there for the next year, it'll be okay. Are you able to get any cherries off of your cherry trees in zone 8A? I've lost a few cherry trees. Cola tea. I have a couple of cherries on my tree. They're young. And they needed another pollinator. So I got a Stella to pollinate them, and she's too young to pollinate them. But if anybody have a cherry tree in the vicinity and the bees can travel for miles, it's probably why I have 2 cherries. So I have to wait until they get a little bit older, okay? All right. Miss Love, I answered your question. I just ordered some fruit trees, 2 apples, 2 pears, 2 Chicago figs. Any tips would be greatly appreciated. Well, you just answered it. You're in growing zone 6B. Perfect time to plant them, my dear. When they start getting real, real hot, I recommend that you put them in containers. This is something that I practice. I put all fruit trees in containers for a year or two. That way, because I'm in such a hot area, if it's 100 degrees, I got to put them over under the gazebo. Well, I don't have a gazebo now. I got umbrellas. Or I have to shade it or whatever. You're in zone 6. Unless you're in a low area where there's a lot of water, you probably could go into the ground. But my main advice to you is this. Are they bare root or they're in a pot with some soil? If they're bare root, you probably could get them in the ground, but you might want to mix it with something fluffy like a little perlite and a potty mix, depending on if you got clay soil or sandy soil. That's why I said go ahead and put them in the pot. Put them in the pot with potty mix. The first year, absolutely no fertilizer, especially with that apple tree and the pear tree. They would get fire blight, brown leaves, decaying, brown branches, too much nitrogen. Please, I've killed some trees. Right, people in the chat? I get a chance to say it every week. I get a kick out of saying it. I know what I'm talking about because I killed some trees. Okay? So, fig tree likes a lot of organic matter, homemade compost. Apple and pear, I would put them in a container for the first 2 years. Yes, ma'am, I would. Okay. Cassandra Dominic. Should I give up on one of my Meyer lemon trees? The leaves have not come back, but there's still some green on the trunk. As long as there's green on the trunk, don't give up. You have no reason to. When it's dead, it's dead. It's going to get brown and decaying, and you can just snap the branch back and it just snap off because it's going to be crispy. But if it's green, it has a possibility. Never give up on the tree that's green. Now, you said it's still green on the trunk. Is it a graft line on that tree? Is it like a little hump where, a little, like a tree, a scab or something around it, that it was rooted onto another rootstock? If that is the case, then if the green is below the graft, and they usually use sour orange because they grow real fast and graft the lemon tree onto. If it's growing at the bottom of that hump, you can throw it away. But if it's growing above the hump, if it's grafted, never throw it away. Okay, I've been collecting and drying seeds from grocers for 2 years. Transplants and direct sown in containers, but grow leggy or dampen off. Must be my reclaimed soil. No, not really. You probably don't have enough light. But grow leggy or dampen off. Too much water or not enough light. Oh, Rhonda said she killed a comfrey. It's hard to kill comfrey. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Rhonda. It's hard to kill comfrey. Must have got too wet or too dry. Okay, so what are we talking about? Regina said, hello, my comfrey is growing. What can I plant them in? It does better in the ground or a huge container because it's going to really get invasive. Grandmama Grows, what are you talking about with the flower? Somebody answer that. I don't know what's going on. Did I miss the question? Oh, somebody said, okay. Now see, Osman Home said, Cassandra, the grasshopper's been eating my Meyer lemon cuttings. Now see, I did a whole chat on you all to get rid of your grasshoppers before it got cold by cleaning up the brush or any areas where you have stuff stacked up or whatever. And I told you all how to put that neem oil and that water and dish soap. Now, I'm not trying to brag, but I was thinking about this today. I haven't seen one grasshopper because I went crazy in this research because they was eating my stuff up. Now, one thing about the grasshoppers, whoever got that grasshopper eating their Meyer lemon, it'll eat the leaves, but it won't eat your fruit. So once you get it established, don't even worry about it because grasshoppers will do that. But the time to take care of the grasshoppers was last fall and winter. I haven't seen one yet. And I mean, I have some big ones out there eating up my leaves, okay? I haven't seen one yet, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to get any. But usually they are out by now. Okay, so I answered that about the couple, kill my company. What is this about the all-purpose flowers? I can answer Kiana's. Yes, Cassandra, the grasshoppers are greedy. And Cassandra, where is that? No, Kiana. I had my peach tree for 2 years and no peaches yet. It's not time. Just not time. I've got 2 Red Haven peach on dwarf stock. Only one of them have a few peaches on, the one of them doesn't have anything. I've had them 4 years. But I also had my Sun Glow Nectarine for 4 years and it's loaded. So you have to just be patient. Oh no, Rhonda. Oh, that was the comfrey. Okay. Okay, Miss Love, how do I keep the birds from eating all of my figs on my fig tree? They're not bothering mine. How do I keep the birds? Well, you can net the tree. Oh, you can put I do the owls, decoys. I put them on T-post. And they're right over there by my figs. I have about 13 of them or more. By the strawberries, by the figs, by the nectarines. Yeah. Okay. If you had to choose only 5 crops for your survival, what would they be? Okra, because they will lower my glycemic level. Diabetes running my family. Sweet peppers. You know, like California Wonder peppers, those type of peppers, because you can put that in any type of stir fry, or you can chop it up and put it into casserole or salad. Okra, peppers. Tomatoes are in the nightshade family, and I'm not supposed to have a lot of that for kidney disease, but I still will grow some tomatoes. Turnips. That's hard. Either Swiss chard, kale, or mustard, because I have to have the greens. Yes, that's a tough one. And Kiana says I have one little one, though. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, she'll tell me later. Flour works like diatomaceous earth for chewing insects. Oh, okay, I did not know that. No, I didn't know that. Somehow I got myself out the chat. I got to go back in. It's okay. I clicked on the wrong thing. It's okay, but I will get to where I am. Chewing insects is what? Okay. 5. Okay. My ginger and comfrey is growing. Can they be planted in the same pot? and I put down some whole potatoes in the dish pan, will they grow? Yeah, as long as they have a drainage hole. And I've seen, why would you put ginger and comfrey in the same pot though? Unless it's a huge pot. I don't know why you would do that. I put some whole potatoes down in a dish pan. Will they grow? Yeah, they will grow. Mike, the clay on the figs, if you live in a cold environment, they put that clay on apples and pears. I've never heard of anybody putting the clay on the figs. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I've never heard of that. I have one little peach on the tree, but that's it. Okay, well, every year it gets better and better. What kind of mulch do you use? Okay, this is a very good question. I used to always use wood chip. I would get free mulch. No dyes, no artificial ingredients. You never know if you're getting termites, anything, poison ivy, anything. But as I gotten older, it's hard for me to shovel it and spread it. And so I have to pay people anywhere from $75 to $100. So this year, I got off the chip drop list, and I'm buying mulch with the dye in it to go in my pathways. In fact, last month, because Rhonda got some too, I hope she's still in here, they had it $2 a bag or 5 for 10 at Lowe's. This week, they have it 5 for 10 or $2 a bag at Home Depot. And I just put it in my pathways. The video that I will drop tomorrow morning, you will see a lot of leaves in the tomato bed. I take all the fall leaves and cover my beds up, when I put them to sleep. And I use straw, easy straw. I do not take any store-bought, dyed mulch and put it with my crops. Only leaves and straw. Okay? All right. So yeah, I don't think the color mulch is safe for a garden bed. But in a pathway, it's fine. No potatoes. Guess that because of your sugar. I don't have diabetes. I am pre-diabetic. And I'm not diabetic because I don't eat potatoes. I used to grow potatoes, and you can go look on my playlist, and you'll see my grandkids harvesting potatoes. And I have a lot of sweet potatoes that's not the same as potatoes. They have more fiber in it, and you can eat those. So yeah, I don't have diabetes. I'm pre-diabetic. I've been pre-diabetic for 13 years. And I try to eat a lot of leafy greens, grilled fish, and every now and then a little chicken, unsweetened. I manage it with what I eat. Bobby Wilson. I'm blessed with a lemon and lime tree cuttings. What should I grow them in? Potty mix. Put them in a container. Potty mix. Do you have any advice for aggressive birds in the garden? Those decoys. There are eagles. I use the owls. They really do help. And you have to move them around. And I got some with the swivel heads. That type of thing. If you put them in the same spot, the birds will land right on top of it. You have to rotate them. Zone 3 to 7 for elderberry. I don't know what you're trying to say, Sugar, because I'm in zone 8 and I get elderberries back. What are you saying? Zone 3 to 7? Zone 3 to 7 elderberry. Must be a certain brand, a certain kind. I was thinking of using Pet Daddy natural pine shavings for my raised bed. Is that okay? You got to be careful because pine would lower the pH and it's very expensive. So just be careful with that. Tiny Texas Garden. Yep, I like Easy Straw. Get it right off of Amazon. It's real compact and you don't get that many blades of grass to grow up. Do you buy the straw? If so, where you get it from? Black Soul Urban Garden, I just said it. Easy Straw from Amazon. Easy straw is not the same as pine shavings. Grandmama grows. Ours do work. Kiana Ellis is saying it. Yeah, because I don't have that many problems with birds. But I do tell you all in the video that's coming out tomorrow morning that the hotter it gets in Texas, the more bird damage I will get on fruit or anything, because they really are not pecking for the fruit. They would start getting thirsty. And even though I have a bird bath that I put water in every day, they would try to peck on your fruit, your tomatoes, squirrels to get the juice. Okay, you're welcome, Rhonda. Yes, the sale at Home Depot is 5 for $10. Straw is great and reasonable. I haven't seen any grasshoppers yet. Knock on wood, Hudson. That's really good. Easy straw. He wrote it down. Yeah, I did a lot of research on it because I had a bad infestation of grasshoppers. They were eating up my lemon trees alive, but they weren't bothering any of the fruit. And by the way, while I'm just talking about that, do you know that you don't really have to harvest your fruit off of the citrus tree, lemon and lime? As long as you don't have any mealybugs, you don't have any birds pecking on it, you can let that fruit stay on 7 to 9 months. Some authors, books I've read, said 9 months. Some people say 7 months. But when I was so excited about all of my lemons one year, I just started harvesting them. And then I realized later when I did more research, I didn't have to. Okay, Odom's Homestead says he used tin around his yard to prevent birds. Yes, they do. You can use tin, pie shell, little container. If you buy a pot pie, you can use CDs on a string and hang them up. He's exactly right. They don't like that shiny stuff. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Is anybody in here that didn't hit the like button? If so, we need your support. Southern Red Sugar, I still don't know what you're talking about, baby. Is it the elderberries zones 3 to 7? Is that what you're saying? Thank you, Growing with Hudson. Appreciate you. Yeah, the pie pans, the pot pie pans, the little small ones, or CDs. They would keep the birds. Just put a little string on it. Lately, I haven't been having to do that. And let me tell you all something before you go. Hudson, I was doing some research today, and you all know how you heard about Irish Springs will deter mice and rats and squirrels. Anybody heard that? But then I read some research today to say it's a myth. I said, yeah, I would read that after I bought 2 cases of it. I'm going to put mine out anyway because I think it works. They say that the somebody put yes or years. That I use the Irish Springs. Good night, Ricky. Thank you so much. All right, well, it's time to say good night, everybody. Thank you all so much for your support. Barbara Brownlee, send me an email me an address, and let me get this in the mail to you. And I think that's it. All right, have a wonderful week. You know that I love you and God loves you too. I'm making sure that I don't. Lisa Williams said, I just had a lot of oak and pine trees cut and mulch my yard. I'm using oak mulch in the garden beds and pathways. Very good. And James Franklin said that he heard that it works. I'm going to put them out. And the smell, it's the smell the bugs don't like. Chine Moss Farm. I'm going to put mine out. Can I chop off the top of my fig tree? Yeah, you can do anything you want. There's a little book called How to Grow a Little Tree. Yeah, you can cut off. I took my jujube tree. I cut 10 feet off of it. My son did this spring, and it's fine. Nothing happened to it. Yes. Good night, everybody. Love you guys. See you next week. Thank you so much for being here. Bye now.